Hey, you. Ever just picture it.
Yeah.
Stepping off a plane onto a speedboat. That turquoise water so clear you see every grain of sand.
Ah, the classic Maldives dream. Waking up in one of those villas over the water.
Exactly, just the sound of the waves. Well, today we're diving deep into making that happen. We're really zeroing in on finding the absolute best all-inclusive resort for, say, a 2025 trip.
That's right. We've gone through quite a bit of info trying to get the real inside track for planning ahead for next year, sorting through all those Maldivian all-inclusive options.
Yeah, because the Maldives, I mean, it is that tropical haven, isn't it? Those bungalows, the water, that feeling of being completely away from it all.
Mm.
And a big part of its popularity and what we're focusing on is just how easy the all-inclusive thing makes it. You land and, well, the big stresses are kind of handled.
And it's interesting, the actual geography, all those separate little islands, it almost naturally creates that seclusion.
Yeah, it leans into it.
It really does. It's almost designed for that kind of all-inclusive switch-off experience. And with demand booming, the range of resorts is huge now. Everything from, pretty affordable options right up to serious luxury.
Which, naturally, it leads to the big question.
Yeah.
You're looking at all these amazing places. How do you possibly pick?
Right.
And what does all-inclusive really mean? Because it seems to vary quite a bit. How do you make sure you're getting value, not just emptying the bank account?
Uh-huh. Finding that sweet spot.
So our mission today is to kind of cut through that, pull out the key things you need to know to figure out what makes your perfect all-inclusive Maldivian paradise for 2025.
Okay. Sounds good. Where should we start?
Well, let's kick things off. Why the Maldives? Why does it consistently pop up on everyone's dream destination list?
Good question. I think looking at the info, several things jump out. First, obviously, the sheer natural beauty. It's stunning.
Can't argue with that.
But it's more than just nice beaches. The atoll structure means you get these calm, shallow lagoons, often, perfect for snorkeling right there.
Oh, right from your resort.
Yeah, often, which isn't always true elsewhere. Plus, the country has seriously invested in tourism infrastructure. Those seaplane and speedboat transfers, they're usually pretty efficient. Less travel time, more holiday time.
That makes a difference. And it's not just scenery, is it? The sources we looked at often mention the local culture, the people being really friendly.
Absolutely. That warmth adds another layer, doesn't it? It's not just a pretty picture. There's a genuine welcome.
Yeah, a human touch.
Precisely. And another thing is the versatility.
Right.
You might picture it as just fly and flop.
Which is great.
Oh, absolutely. It excels at relaxation. But there's also a lot of adventure if you want it. World-class diving, snorkeling, obviously, but also other water sports.
So it can be chill or active or mix?
Exactly. It caters to both relaxation junkies and those wanting a bit more excitement. So, okay, you're sold on Maldives. Why is the all-inclusive model so popular there?
Well, number one has to be convenience, right?
For sure.
Just arriving and knowing your food, your drinks, often even activities. It's sorted, financially speaking. It takes away that constant low-level stress of where are we eating or how much is this costing?
It's about reducing those decision points. You can just be there.
Yeah. Everything is well included, or supposed to be.
And that convenience often feels like better value, too. The upfront cost might look higher.
Right.
But if you added up every meal, every drink, every boat trip individually in a place like the Maldives, it can get expensive fast. All-inclusive gives you cost certainty.
Yeah.
Much easier to budget.
Makes sense. And it seems to work for different people, too. Families maybe keeping an eye on the budget. Couples wanting that seamless romantic thing without fuss. Even solo travelers who like the ease and maybe the social aspect of some resorts.
It's got broad appeal. Now, here's where we need to dig a bit deeper, because all-inclusive. It's not one size fits all, is it?
Yes, the fine print section.
Exactly. What do you actually get? The info shows it varies massively. A basic package might just be house wine, local beer, maybe only at certain times, premium brands, extra.
Okay.
Whereas a really top-end plan might give you access to all the restaurants, even the fancy a la carte ones. Maybe throw in a free massage or a diving trip.
So you really, really need to do your homework here.
Absolutely. Read everything.
Yeah.
Ask questions before you book. What specific brands of drinks? Are the minibar contents included? Which water sports cost extra?
Because getting hit with unexpected charges for, I don't know, using a paddleboard or eating at this special restaurant kind of ruins that all-inclusive feeling, doesn't it?
Totally undermines it. It's all about matching the package details to what you actually want and expect. Clarity is key.
Okay, so managing expectations is crucial. Let's get practical then. What are the main things someone should be weighing up when they're comparing resorts?
Right, the checklist. First up, almost always,
Okay.
budget. And like we said, all-inclusive can be great for managing costs in the Maldives, helping you lock in a price. But there's still a huge range in the level of all-inclusive and the overall resort price.
So know your limit first, then what?
Then, think about the type of resort. Who are you going with? What vibe do you want?
Good point. Family place or adults only?
Exactly. Some are geared towards families, kids clubs, shallow pools, activities. Others are strictly adults only, much quieter, more focused on couples or romance. Like, Kathmandu often gets mentioned for that adults-only, tranquil vibe.
Okay, so demographics matter. What about location within the Maldives?
Yeah, that's key too. Do you want quick and easy access from Malay Airport? Or are you happy to take another, maybe longer seaplane or boat ride for more seclusion?
Trade-off between travel time and isolation.
Precisely. And some atolls might be better known for specific things like, say, manta ray sightings or particular dive sites. Those efficient transfers we mentioned help, but distance is still a factor.
Got it. And then the resort itself, the actual facilities.
Right. Accommodations are huge in the Maldives. Is an overwater villa a must-have for you? How big? Private pool?
The dream features.
Definitely. But also look at the restaurants and bars included in your plan. How many? What type of food? Quality matters.
Mm-hmm.
And other things. Pools, gym, spa, that kind of stuff.
And linking into that, what can you actually do there?
Yes. Activities and excursions. If you're a keen diver, does it have a good house reef? Or easy access to great dive spots?
Or if you just want to relax, maybe the spa is more important.
Exactly. Or yoga classes, maybe cooking classes, cultural experiences. What's included versus what costs extra? Does it match how you want to spend your time?
That makes sense. Check if the activities align with your interests.
And one more factor, which seems increasingly important.
Let me guess. Sustainability.
You got it.
Yeah.
Environmental policies.
Yeah.
More and more people care about the impact of their travel. Many Maldivian resorts are really stepping up with eco-friendly practices now.
Like what sort of things?
Oh, could be anything from reducing plastic waste, using solar power, protecting their local reef, having desalination plants to create their own fresh water.
Yeah.
If that's important to you, it's worth looking into what specific resorts are doing.
Right. Good for the conscious travelers. Okay, so we have budget, resort type, location, accommodation, activities, sustainability. Quite a list.
It helps narrow things down. So maybe we should look at a few specific examples that came up in the research, just to illustrate the variety.
Yeah, let's do that. The info mentions several well-regarded places. Saneva Fushi came up a lot. Sounds very high-end.
Definitely positioned at the luxury end. Known for huge private pool villas, amazing ocean views. Seems like a real wow place, total indulgence.
Okay, what else?
Then there's Cheval Blanc Ranheli, also very premium. Described as elegant, sophisticated. Some villas apparently have their own private beach section. Fancy fitness center, too. Or sort of chic luxury, perhaps.
Right, different style. And Nyama Private Islands. That sounded maybe a bit more active.
Yeah, that one seems to have a more contemporary, maybe younger vibe. Mentions of surfing, paddleboarding, kayaking. But still, with those amazing overwater villas with private pools, kind of a blend of modern luxury and things to do.
Okay, so different feels already.
And the sources also throw out names like Constance Halavelli, Kathmandu, which we mentioned as adults only, and Vakaru Maldives. We didn't dive deep into all of those, but it suggests there's even more variety in style, focus, maybe price point.
So the big takeaway there is there isn't one single best. It's about your best fit.
Exactly. What clicks with you? Laid back or formal? Loads of activities or pure quiet, family fun or romantic escape. Each resort seems to carve out its own niche.
Okay. But the question everyone's waiting for, based on all this info we sifted through, especially looking towards 2025, did one resort seem to be getting particularly strong buzz, like really standing out?
Well, based purely on the information we reviewed, Saneva Fushi does seem to be getting a lot of positive attention right now. The term rave reviews popped up frequently from both guests and industry experts.
Okay. Saneva Fushi. So what is it specifically that's getting those rave reviews? What makes it stand out?
Several things seem to keep coming up. First, the villas themselves. Luxurious, yes, but also described as really spacious, often with those private pools and great ocean views. That seems to be a consistent highlight.
Space and views. Got it.
Then, the dining. A good range of international food, mentions of fine wines. Seems like a strong culinary focus.
Food's important on an all-inclusive.
Crucial.
Yeah.
But beyond the hardware, the service gets mentioned a lot. Staff described as really friendly, attentive, going the extra mile.
That personal touch makes a big difference.
Absolutely. And then the amenities and activities seem pretty comprehensive. Good fitness center, library, various things to do like yoga, and they specifically highlight the private beach. Pristine sand, clear water, the whole package.
So it sounds like it ticks a lot of boxes across the board. Luxury, service, food, beach, activities.
That's the impression, yes. Whether you want total relaxation or some adventure, it seems positioned to deliver a really memorable high-end experience. It's frequently described as, the epitome of paradise.
Okay, so based on current buzz and reviews looking towards 2025, Soneva Fushi seems like a very strong contender if you're aiming for that top-tier, maybe ultimate all-inclusive Maldivian experience.
That seems to be the takeaway from the sources, yes. The Maldives generally offers amazing all-inclusive choices, but Soneva Fushi appears to be a standout for that exceptional 2025 trip, based on the feedback we looked at.
And it's worth circling back to why all-inclusive works so well there, isn't it? That ability to just relax.
Definitely. Knowing the big costs are covered, avoiding surprise bills, it just lets you soak it all in without the financial worries humming in the background. Proper stress-free vacationing.
Couldn't agree more. So maybe the final thought for everyone listening is, take all this info, but then really think, what does your personal Maldivian paradise look like?
Yeah. What are your non-negotiables? Is it the villa, the food, the diving, the quiet? Hopefully, our deep dive today gave you some good pointers for figuring that out and planning that unforgettable trip.